of Part 1 of The Quiet American. A British journalist named Thomas Fowler and a Vietnamese woman named Phong wait for Alden Pyle in an apartment. Fowler is Pyle's friend and Fong's old lover. However, Fong is now Pyle's lover. Fowler and Fong smoke opium and discuss Fong and Pyle's relationship as they wait. Suddenly, a policeman knocks on the door and tells them to come to the police station. There, at the police station, a man named Inspector Viggett questions Fowler on his relationship to Pyle. Fowler thinks about the first time he met Pyle, and Pyle is a soft-spoken American. They met at the Continental Hotel Cafe, where Pyle told him about how he was new to Saigon. Back in real life, uh, Fowler tells Viggett he's not guilty, and also tells him where he has been for the last few hours. Viggett reveals that Pyle was found dead. Fowler seems to not care about Pyle's death. Viggett allows Fowler and Fong to identify Pyle's body, and they confirm. After going back to the apartment, Fowler thinks again about the first time he met Pyle at the hotel, where Pyle talks about his favorite author and York Harding as well as politics. Back in reality, the next day, Fong agrees to stay with Fowler, so Fowler goes to Fong's apartment to gather her things. There he meets Viggett, who tried to question him further in a more threatening way. They also meet Joe, the American economic attaché, who shows his sympathy for Pyle's death. Joe also tries to question Fowler about the death, in which Fowler gets angry and shouts about Pyle's naiveness with his affair with Fong. Fowler has another flashback to when Pyle and Fong first met. Fowler, Pyle, Fong, Joe, and Bill Granger, an American correspondent, go to Cholon for the evening. Bill and Joe talk about a rumor about the Vietnamese taking Fat Diem, which interests Fowler. They go to the house of 500 girls, where Pyle gets uncomfortable, so Fowler takes him to the chalet with Fong. Pyle and Fong dance, while Fowler thinks about Fat Diem and contemplates risking his life for it. A few days later, in the flashback, Fowler arrives at Fat Diem to report on what the Viet Minh had done there. He finds people in the town at a refugee camp. They are in terrible condition from the Viet Minh attacks. Fowler enters into Fat Diem to find French soldiers who he accompanies. They sent out on a reconnaissance mission where they find dead bodies in abandoned buildings as well as gunfire. Fowler and the troop go back to the officers' quarters to sleep. At 3 a.m., Fowler is woken up by Pyle, who will be joining them. Pyle convinces his love for Fong and talks very considerately about her. However, Fowler is upset by this and acts like he does not care for her. So they drink whiskey in silence. 3 weeks later in the flashback, Fowler tells us that Pyle left the same night without saying anything. But Pyle did leave Fowler a thank you note for understanding his intentions with Fong. Fowler makes his way to Hanoi and attends a press conference meeting. There he learns that the French have sustained significant losses among their troops. When Fowler gets back to the hotel, he receives a telegram telling him he has been promoted to foreign editor. This means Fowler will need to move back to England and end things with Fong. Fowler is upset by this because he likes Saigon better than England.